Okay. Give about 30 seconds to
Mhm.
the buffer.
Okay.
Okay. I have to be here. Take off my shoes. Okay. So we're starting with the cosmovision of what is known as the Patakuchi Mesa tradition. The Patakuchi Mesa tradition started long time, at least, I think if I remember Don Oscar said, between 8 to 12,000 years ago in what is now known Peru, Bolivia, and the Amazon part of Brazil, a little bit of Chile. And what they did is that they pretty much looked at the stars. And from here, I'll pass this around, you'll see the Southern Cross, you'll see the Pleiades, you'll see Orion's belt, and then they pretty much then saw the Earth and all the solar system as part of that cosmovision. And they tried to figure out what rotated, how it rotated, but more importantly, what was the importance of the rotation going through it as a human being. So with the cosmovision, and I'll pass this too, you have the three levels of existence. You have the upper world, the middle world, and the lower world. So it's the Hana Pacha, the Kai Pacha, and the Uhu Pacha is the lower world. And we'll go through those more in depth at the end of the class. But the cosmovision was created so that you could actually etch your mesa on a rock and connect to the cosmos that way. Okay, so you had the right and the left, the below, the above, the within, the before, and the behind. And you had the lightning bolt of illumination that connected everything, because that's how energy moves.
Yeah.
The way energy moves, according to the Inca cosmovision, it comes from the center of source. And then from there, it goes to the galactic center of the Milky Way. And then from the Milky Way, it goes into the mountains. And the mountains, it can go into your mesa, or also what's called an apacheta, which is a little mound of rocks that you can make like a little pyramid. And I'll send you a video on how to make an apacheta, because you can feng shui your house by building an apacheta. If you know someplace that needs energy, you put the apacheta there and you build it, and it becomes a living pyramid.
We could build one here,
Yeah.
like a class project or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, we could build one here. Yeah.
Let's talk. Where do you put it? In the front of your house, the inside of your house?
Where the energy is called. So you go and you listen, connect with the cosmos. So that's the beauty of the Patakuti Mesa tradition, is the Patakuti Mesa tradition has you go and talk. You become one with everything, not just the elements, but there are animals that are assigned to teach you the directions as well. So as you're connecting and becoming one, you're realizing that not only they're your allies, they're your mirrors, you're becoming one with them. There's no separation. Okay, so that, and even though it's going to be very simple, when you look at, wow, I can carry this huge complex thing, it's very simple. They meant it to be a traveling thing. And the reason we know more about the Incas than we do the Toltecs is because the Incas, Huiracocha, the creator told them that when the foreigners came, not to fight them. Not to fight them like they did on Turtle Island and Serpent Island, that they were to give in and they were going to bring peace. And it's true. There were two kings in the Incan Empire, the last two kings that were brothers, and they were fighting and warring and killing each other. And the Spaniards actually forced them to go into peace. Because they said, we're going to, ironically, they said, we're going to kill you because you killed your brother. ended the Incan Empire, forced peace. But you'll hear Cortez say, oh yeah, the Incas didn't give us half the trouble that the Aztecs and the Mayans did. They went peacefully comparatively. And the reason is they were told because otherwise they were going to lose their tradition. And that's why so many of the Incan ruins are still available, because they didn't fight. So that was part of, again, their cosmovision, they were told, their prophecies. And what was also told to them was that one day Condor and eagle would fly together. The eagle of the Turtle Island, which we're on, as well as Serpent Island, and then there the Condor. And when that day would come, there would be then peace, and the people would once again remember the Incan ways and their Incan traditions. And what you see now is you see many people here in North America, Central America, flying to South America, going to the Incan places, going to masters, going to do ayahuasca. You see that. And in fact, my teacher was told by his teacher, he said, you're going to have to go up north and teach all the Griegos our tradition so our people will remember. I said, what are you talking about? He's like, that's your mission, because I don't believe you. He abandoned it for 10 years. And finally, when he almost died for the time, he finally got the message that the prophecies were coming true and he needed to do his part. So what I'm going to do is right now how you set up your mesa and explain the very basics, because how you set up your mesa is how you beget relationships. So ritual begets relationship. So why do we do rituals? Because you want to do something that develops relationship with the self, culture, and cosmos. You'll hear a lot of threes in the Peruvian teachings. They love the number 3. So we start with the self, then culture or nature, and then we go out to the cosmos. So as you do ritual, you're developing a relationship with all those levels. And even when I said in lodge, we go in representing those 3 levels. And that's not in with my teacher. So the first thing we do is we have Florida water you can either make, like I'm going to mail you a recipe, very, very easy. I would say if you're going to use alcohol, use Everclear, just because you can use this to cleanse. I know some people don't like the spitting cleansing technique where you drink some of it and then spit it on someone to cleanse it. But if you're with someone that doesn't mind that, I would say use Everclear rather than rubbing alcohol, which is what the recipe says. So Everclear is the one I would recommend.
Everclear is
alcohol.
Strong alcohol.
You need 97 proof or higher.
It's legal moonshine.
It's legal.
But you can buy it in the.
Yeah, and
You can buy it in the liquor store.
the other one that we would use is one in Mexico. It's a sugar cane. And so it's really hard to find. But Everclear
You
is,
could use grappa.
you could.
Grappa
because it's
has a
97.
high
Yeah, it's 97.
alcohol
Yeah.
base, yeah.
So what you want to do is you want to use something that calls to you. If you're called to lavender, roses, whatever is calling you, that plant is your ally, is your medicine. So that's really where this starts with, okay? Is the very first place, what is calling to you? And you can buy this Florida water or name, I think it's like $5, or you can make your own that will already have your essence. And once you put all the flowers and the leaves and the alcohol, very easy, you just close it in a glass container, turn it gently 3 times, once a day for a week, and then it's ready. But you want to put it in a glass
And you
container.
ingest it?
You can. There are some that will take this and spit it. I won't spit it towards you, Regenerate.
I can smell it.
But they'll cleanse you, spitting it,
Okay.
okay? Everclear tastes
He's
How
better.
do you feel about that, Greg? I see
Yeah,
your
yeah.
face.
He's like, I'm not wasting. No, I'm
Yeah,
just
spit
kidding.
it in the
Yeah, yeah, and then,
I've seen them do that on, that's a part of their ceremony for someone, yes.
and I have, and I have met a lot of, and one of the curanderas I asked last week, I said, well, what if people don't want to be spit on? She goes, The alcohol is too much. She actually gets ulcers in her mouth. She's so sensitive to the alcohol, she can't do it. So she uses a spray bottle.
Oh,
Again, it's your essence.
I would like to spray bottle.
So the
Because we don't drink any alcohol, so.
You already know me, that's not happening.
so what
Spray
is
bottle?
spray
Alcohol, I
bottle?
will hide more to it.
Yeah, I'll leave it up to you because if it's one thing I've been very grateful and Vincent's been grateful with our teacher, Don Oscar, is he's a universal shaman. So this mesa is yours. It is your magic, your medicine, your inspiration. No two mesas ever look alike when we go to lunch. They all look different because it's yours. It's what calls to you and what you need. So that's why I'm not going to put any rules. I'm going to give you guidelines and let you, playfully enjoy discovering.
And
Well,
it's just things that you resound with, or
Yes.
that you're attracted to, or?
Or that you've always had an inclination where you're like, gosh, I knew I always had that rock for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
So the first thing we start off with is the Florida water. And what we do with the Florida water is we pray our essence, whatever prayer you want for the essence of the holy of the ground. It's like you're anointing the ground with this first. So you pray first. And remember, it's the self, culture, and the cosmos. So as you're praying, you'll want to say whatever prayer and then gently blow it into the bottle. Because it's your essence now being blown into it. In Albuquerque, I met a wonderful Pueblo Indian. He said, in our hands, we hold trust and belief. And when we pray together and we say our prayer, if you inhale it, you've just inhaled your own essence of your prayer, no one can take it away from you.
Oh, that's good.
Okay? So that's, again, how ritual begets relationship. Okay? So once you put your essence into the water and just gently ask for the blessing as you put it on to the ground. Just a few drops. That's why I brought this, because I don't want to get through the warmest. So that's the first part. Next part. Yeah. It's up to you. Normally, blue cornmeal or yellow cornmeal is used to draw the great wheel. And the great wheel, what connects everything. The sacred spiral. I have also heard Don Oscar say you can use white quartz.
What is it, white?
This is white quartz sand. It's only in very few places in the world. I think Sarasota Springs, Florida is the only one here in the US.
You can buy it online, probably, right?
Now, I do know the one from Sarasota Springs, Florida is pure. When I was a girl in Destin, Florida, it was pure, but now thanks to the Gulf oil spills, it's not pure anymore. So I usually use the blue cornmeal. And with the blue cornmeal, we're still putting our essence. Because again, the corn being such a sacred nutritional value and life giver to so many of the peoples of the islands. And just a huge way to trade, The corn is very, very sacred in that when the corn was used, all parts of it were used. The husk of it was used, to make like tamales, But then the little silky part was boiled and made for tea to cure. Exactly, to cure kidney infections. So obviously the kernels could be stored. And then the cobs, you could do a lymphatic massage to help those that were sick. So, and because it grew at all altitudes, that's why it's so sacred. It could grow anywhere. And I think also 8,000 species of potatoes
So-
7,000 species of potatoes. So when you read of the Incas, you'll read corn and potatoes. Because they were masters at growing corn and potatoes at any height, any level in terrain. But, because potato is harder, to carry and use, the corn is more sacred in the ceremony. So what you do is you just pray your prayers into the cornmeal. And then again, remember the self, culture, the cosmos, asking all be one, blow it in, and then start making your circle going from the right, going towards the left.
So clockwise.
So clockwise, exactly. And you can go as many times as you want to make it as thick as you want. Saying your prayer every single time.
And we just write our own prayer, or there's sample prayers?
Your own prayer, this is your
Okay.
heart. Because again, this is your essence going into the nutrition. Because see, this is gonna feed your mesa. So your essence is what's gonna
Okay.
connect you to the cosmos. That's what the mesa does. This is your gateway to the universe. That's why I said the first half of the class was you're gonna have to learn your own energy. Because if I let you go in the universe and you don't know who you are, you can get lost very quickly.
And then you leave this
Yes.
on your mesa.
Mhm. Yep, and then the next, well, this is the building your mesa. This is the bottom part of your mesa. So wherever you would have your mesa, preferably on the ground, because I have children and cats, I have it on a dresser. Otherwise it would get attacked more. In fact, our cat has been attacking the reindeer quite a bit, so we have to keep her away from that as much as possible. So,
So you wanna build this and leave it out in your house?
yeah, and try not to move it.
I have a rattle that's in my meditation room. My dog is like,
Yeah, and animals just naturally
she
get,
walks straight in there and looks at it. And I'm like, it's never happening. Get out.
yeah, and animals naturally get gravitated to, the energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have two of them now. There's one that I use a lot, and that's the one she's always wanted to
Mhm.
get into.
So,
Oh, so they come to the animals.
they come to the energy. If you go to the pyramid of the sun, I think I mentioned this, in the pyramid of the moon in Mexico, you'll see a ton of butterflies. I'm like, well, there are a bunch of butterflies and flowers here. They're for the energy. It's absorbing the energy.
Feeding them.
Mhm. So now the next part is what we call a quintu. This is a quintu. Normally you're supposed to use 3 coca leaves, but we don't have that room here. So
I was gonna say, aren't they illegal?
you can have bay leaves, you can have rose petals, something that's just kind of oval shaped, floral leaves, whatever you want. And again, we're going to represent the self, and the culture, nature, and the cosmos. So again, you're going to say your prayers for the self, and your culture, the nature, cosmos, whatever you wish. Put it in there and then blow it. When we blow it, it's called a fukui. And then put it right smack in the middle of the circle of the cornmeal. And next comes the tobacco. Tobacco, many of you may have known as being very sacred, as a plant that allows our prayers to be heard. But we've also found tobacco to be very medicinal as well. So tobacco here is going to make a cross going from the right to the left, signifying what we call the good red road. This is our human walk. And then we'll go from the north to the south, meaning from where our ancestors come, all the way down to the below. So that's going to be our connection here too.
And you can get the tobacco at any of
Yeah.
the tobacco shops, like pipe tobacco.
Yeah, this is pipe
That's
tobacco.
north, by the way.
Huh?
That's north.
That's north, yeah. But Yeah, I'll go over. Yeah, that
Well,
was.
you were pointing to go from that way this time.
Oh, yeah, but the way that my mesa though is, when you're standing with your mesa, and this is gonna be the challenging part, you're not always gonna be able to have your mesa be north, south, east, west. So wherever you're facing your
Oh.
mesa, okay, so if I'm facing my mesa like this, okay, I'm now, this is now north, even though
Okay.
true north is behind me,
Okay,
because that's how the energy is being laid.
okay.
Okay, so again, what's more important is your intention, not the exact, because again, your house may not be amenable to true north, true south. You know, you may have to go somewhere again with cats and kids, so you have to work with them. So when you get the tobacco, again, it would be saying your prayers for the self, for culture, nature, and the cosmos. And then you'll glow again into it, your essence, once you're done with the prayer. And then you'll move again from right to left. And then you'll move again after saying the prayers again. Bless you. Glow. Moving from the north. Making sure you go over the king to the east to the south. So that is the basic template that energizes your mesa. Now comes then the cloth that goes over it. The cloth usually preferably should be made out of something natural. It can be as big as you want or as small as you want. Depends how big your mesa wants to be.
So cotton is natural, right?
You can use cotton, you can use silk. I've seen wool. I know they sell natural ones from Peru. I've seen some from India as well. Like I saw one woman use her
Sorry.
her sari, yes, as her
Okay, it's just natural fibers.
natural fibers.
Or you could use a fur.
Or yeah,
Fur is considered
yes,
natural.
natural fibers. And see, even here I have cotton on the back of mine.
So that's real animals?
This is vicuña. Vicuña is the softest animal fur on the planet.
It's chinchillas.
Next
Oh,
to
shit.
yeah.
I've never heard of that name.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to feel it if you want to. And
It's a big animal.
And the reason I chose this, even though it called to Vincent for me to choose it first, is because within the cosmovision, the within, is ruled by alpaca, vicuña, llama.
Oh, this is the llama?
So this is of the llama family.
Oh,
So that's why I chose it, because I choose to be of service to the world. So that's why this represents my relationship to that cosmovision. Okay, so again, Vincent did call to reindeer. I'll let you talk why reindeer called to you.
First and foremost, I'm a survivor. Reindeers survive in some of the harshest environments when there's like no food and all that. They don't hibernate, anything like that. But again, there are a lot of other spiritual implications. There's a reason why they have Santa having reindeer pull it, for example. Reindeer are sacred for a lot of different paths, in particular the Norse traditions, which are one of the things I've studied as well, like the trough. So again, honoring my past paths that I've studied and researched. That's also just like I was saying that, other paths I had chosen is why I like the top hat and some other things that are on there. The mirror actually that's underneath the skull has a Asian style phoenix on the back of it, representing the Buddhism and Taoism stuff that I studied with martial arts. So again, each aspect to me correlates with things from my past and what brought me to this path and things of that nature. Again, what is true to the heart and soul. So,
So that's why no two mesas are the same. Because they're an expression of your personalities.
The reindeer is nice.
yeah, the cat seems to think so too.
Yeah, that's what it's-
Oh, wow.
So, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna represent the lightning bolt of illumination. The energy of the cosmos. And it comes from the northwest, going down to the southeast. I do a double helix since I'm in medicine, so that way I understand my medical intuitive stuff a bit more. And this is the flight of the hummingbird. So this is how energy comes in even through the axis of the earth. I don't know if you've ever heard of what's called the Corona, which is your major chakras up here that bring down energy. It's like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That forms your Corona. Well, the Earth's Corona moves this way at this angle. It used to move actually from the northeast in the masculine times. And now that we've shifted to the feminine energies, it now moves from the northwest going down to the southeast. So I put that first to represent that energetic lightning bolt of illumination coming in and touching everything. And you'll see how everything will build up on top. So with the hummingbird, we'll go more into it, into detail during the class when we cover the before and the behind. So with the hummingbird, you want to try to get a nice clear crystal to represent hummingbird. Hummingbird is the communicator to source. The story behind hummingbird is that Condor got tired one day and couldn't fly anymore. And they begged Condor to fly one more time to Creator. So Condor flew and flew and flew. And hummingbird hid in Condor's wing. And when Condor started becoming exhausted, hummingbird took off and did the one thing that no other bird had ever done with Creator, look Creator straight in the eye, because hummingbird could sit still. And hummingbird got the messages and came back down with Condor, and when hummingbird touched and landed in Cusco in the garden, Cusco meaning the navel of the world in the Incan cosmology, the whole place lit up with jewels. And the bird changed to a jeweled bird. So that's why we put hummingbird here as a great messenger. And this is a place of royal hummingbirds, so it's a clear crystal. Now, what we put though in the southeast is what's called the I am. So the I am is usually ruled by some sort of mythical creature that protects you. It could be a dragon, a griffin, or whatever calls to you. It doesn't have to be that. But the hummingbird represents the before, and this I am represents the behind. So that if you ever wanted to divinate, you take your hummingbird and you put it in the behind, and you put yourself, the I am, in the before, and you divinate. And you directly go to Creator and ask for inspiration, just by using that.
Like flipping it, right?
Flipping it. And I can tell you, if you do this during Mercury in retrograde, you will not feel the impacts of Mercury in retrograde as much.
Oh, wow.
So, again, we'll go more into it in detail when we hit the before and behind. So again, tonight's just getting the basics and understanding how to set them up. So we have a hummingbird here northeast, and down here in the southeast. Northwest is hummingbird, southeast is the I am. So next piece I put down is what I call my big scary ones. They are my beautiful anaconda snake. Well, there's a place in the south, Pachamama. Here we go. So, three places, actually two things. There are three on mine. Two things rule the south. You have boa and anaconda. And the south is Pachamama, the great earth, the below. So the two stones that normally are used here, one is the one that represents your Mother Earth stone, the Pachamama stone. And this is mine. This one's Vincent, it's right there. So it goes directly in the south, and then above that directly is what you have your ancestral pieces. And my ancestral pieces, if you look at them, look like anaconda boa. And these are what they call witches' stones. And if you put them anywhere in the body, they help to heal pain. So these were a gift from one of my friends when we went to Sedona.
And they're called witches' stones?
They're called the witches' stones, yeah.
And that one was called the boa.
This one is called the Pachamama stone, and this is your ancestral kuya.
Well, what is that stone?
This
No,
stone-
the dragon stone?
No, this stone is a dragon stone.
That's the actual name of the stone.
This is the actual name of the dragon stone.
Because I have
Yeah.
one of those.
So this is my Pachamama. This is what represents the below of Earth, Mama Earth. Again, little serpent. Because I know at the center of the earth is a dragon, and I talk to her all the time.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Those stones are amazing. I have a friend that has a store that has those all over. It's great.
So
And when you look for it, it's called
Correct.
a dragon stone?
that's called a dragon stone. But you're gonna choose what represents Mother Earth to you. And you're gonna choose what represents your ancestors to you. And to me, my ancestors are healers. So why not have the two snakes? Actually, the three. So they're all connected. So then, again, the south ruled by snake. And when we call in our Pachamama energy, the way we call in the direction of Pachamama is you're going to have your left hand up and your right hand down. And you're going to chant Pachamama 3 times this way. And now it's activated. So I don't know if you could feel the energy as we bring in the Mother Earth, the snake energy and wisdom. It all comes in. So that's the first part we call. Now we're going to move to the west. The west is ruled dolphin and whale. That's why I put dolphin and whale here. And in the west, we also have our shell. You'll see Vincent has a beautiful shell.
You can pass it. So I didn't fully activate mine.
So we'll pass that. And so he also has the cuttlefish representing the water as well. And I'll let you go into why the cuttlefish.
Adaptability. They and the octopi are the two most alien forms of DNA on the entire planet. And not just because of the chromatophores that they have that allow them to change color at all, although the cuttlefish actually surpasses the octopi and squid in that manner. One of the most unique things that they do is they can literally eject a false self, which is basically a mucus plug that literally looks like a mini version of themselves. and they leave that with a trail of ink, and as that is sitting there floating, they haul ass out. They have more survival mechanisms than pretty much any other deep sea creature.
You see my brass dolphin?
Yeah, it's right there by your knee.
Oh, thank you. All right, so in the west, is where you're gonna put your shell. You're gonna have a shell. This was actually given to me by my teacher. This was his actual dolphin and shell. He gave this to me at one of the lodges I went to.
And the reason I chose that one is since I deal with math and technology, it's a natural, well, not just spiral, I'm trying to, Fibonacci sequence. It's one of the few cases where that actually, that pure symmetry actually occurs in nature.
And that's why a lot of times you will see the Nautilus shell, especially if you do have someone who's highly intelligent to balance their east, which is a place of mind, and they can't handle emotions. So one thing you will notice is your mesa will balance itself. And if you see that something is overloaded, you may want to decrease it a bit or balance the opposite side. If you feel that you're being mentally bombarded, look at the mental part. Is it big structures compared to everything being small? You may want to balance it. So the other part in the west we have is grandmother moon, grandmother stone. And this is, to me, I'll pass this around. You can see the cosmos. It's, what's it called? It starts with an L.
Labradorite.
Yeah. I see the whole cosmos in this stone, just like grandmother sees the whole cosmos from where she sits. So that's why I chose that.
I still haven't found one that calls for me, hence the lack of it online.
But again, they'll come to you. So don't panic if you don't have a mesa by the end of this class. It's okay.
Right, as you pick things up.
It will
you can
call to you.
Continue to,
Yeah, because what you'll see is as you're doing this, we're going to pretend like you're holding your piece already anyway. And we're going to activate. So whether you have them or not, they're already going to be activated. Okay, so don't worry about that. All right, so now moving to the north. We have our ancestors. We have eagle and condor. This is where we have our feather as well as our wand. Because our wand or our staff acts as also a protection. If you have the face pointing outwards of your wand, you will protect it. If you want information, you turn the face towards the center of your mesa. You want to download more from the cosmos.
You can pass both of them.
where do you get one of those?
Universal Studios, what was it?
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Whatever
That's
works for
remember she
you.
got the
I know someone that makes copper ones with crystals on the end. It
No
just
way.
kind of depends on what you want to do.
My only problem with the metal ones is metals themselves have different properties.
Yes, then you have to be
And
confident.
it becomes more of an issue of balancing. Remember I was just
See,
talking
my
about,
boyfriend's altar, he wouldn't do this, he'd have to have wood, because that's just how his thing is. So that's telling you, you do what works for
Yeah.
you.
and then eventually I'll probably carve one out in time anyhow.
That would be.
But for the time being, that works.
So
You got
I
your
have some
skins
outfits.
online or the skin
Yes, you can order them online.
online?
And there's sites that literally will tell you how the creature died if you're wanting to actually get a fur. There's a bunch of ways. eBay's got a bunch of different deals that you can find all the time for cheap as well.
You can also go out in nature and walk, and you might find a piece of wood to work for you.
Yeah.
He was asking about the hide.
It's like, I don't go in nature.
No, he was asking about the hide.
Oh, I'm
The
sorry.
hide.
We can find a dead.
I mean, I can go, I can,
That's
Sorry,
why I
to
don't
the
try to
woods.
go look.
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey, just go out and put up the car."
Road kill. That's what
Well, I mean,
That's what I said. I was like, wow.
we can get you a javelina pretty easily.
How would you get javelina?
Roadkill.
I live over by Levine.
Poor baby.
That I could just go out with a bow and arrow and get him a javelina. It's not a problem.
I don't think
Oh,
it's,
no,
it's
I
kind
don't
of
want
sticky.
you to kill anything.
Oh, it don't hurt anyhow, but
You'd honor it, meaning like use it for food or.
yeah, I'd find uses for it. I have a dog.
We used to be able to, I knew a friend that went hunting back in the day and he would use a lot of the parts to it. And yeah,
That's how I was taught it. I use as much as I can.
Javelina is a pig.
Yes.
Yeah, it tastes very similar to pork. A little different though.
It's a bit more gamey, and the problem is around here, a lot of it wouldn't be eatable because of parasites.
Oh, yeah.
This was way in the 70s when he used it.
Yeah.
Out
And that's just because of the junk they're eating now.
yeah.
Alright, so with the west, before we fully move on to the north, the way we activate Mama Kia, which is like the west is we're going to chant Mama Kia this way 3 times. So again, left hand up, right hand down, pointing towards the area of the west. And you're going to chant. Mama Kia. Mama Kia. Mama Kia. And you will feel that water, that grandmother essence coming through. So with the north, we'll have the feather, the wand, and then this other arte maestra. This is your highest wisdom. This is what connects you with that higher with intuition, that higher place with your ancestors. So that sits there too. And then what you can put beside the wand, or your vara curandera as it's called, are your, anything representing ancestors. So, because of the condor and eagle, I represent my ancestors there, but then I represent my teacher, the Peruvian teacher with the Peruvian cross, and his teachers and his ancestors as well, because they're the grandparents of this tradition. So that's what you can put there too. I've seen people put pictures of Kamahansa Yogananda, of archangels up here too. So whatever you feel is your highest guide, your ancestral guide, you can put there too. Okay. And then this is our direct connection to Creator. So Viracocha is what Creator is known as in the Incan cosmovision. And this is how we chant Viracocha. And left hand up, right hand down, right hand pointing towards the north. Viracocha. And then you'll pause and feel, and they're there. When I am chanting, I do feel the energy coming in through the left. coming in across my chest, coming over the right arm and exiting out the right hand. And you may feel that the first time, you may feel that in time. But as you are pulling literally that energy in as you're calming it. So as you can see, something very simple is now gaining complexity. So moving to the east, place of the mind, place of fire. North again, air, obviously with the feather. So we'll have a candle. This is one that I brought that's electric, so I don't burn the place down, but you can have one that you can actually light. You can use an electric one, doesn't matter. How big you have your candle will represent how much of your ego you want to work on. So the bigger your candle, the more you're going to work on your ego. The smaller your candle, the less you want to work on your ego. So just something to bear in mind.
Or sometimes it's just what you can get your hands on.
So I was looking for like, I have a little one. So yeah, you can pass around. This is my little shell I couldn't find a while ago. Oh, that's all right. So here I have my obsidian that I use as a big axe. That'll kill my ego.
Obsidian.
Yeah, this
No,
no, obsidian. Obsidian.
OBSIDIAN.
And I'm an obsidian there that I use to represent my mind, but also balancing with the ego. Because I can be pretty egotistical. And then I have yet another one I use to balance because I want to work with the mind of the earth. This is actually from Mount St. Helens. Piece of volcanic glass from her. So it's like I want to talk to the earth as well. So I keep it on that side to help talk with the planetary consciousness. So that way I know where the ego of the earth is going and what can I do to help.
And that's actually the direction I keep the hat in. Remember I was talking about the endless possibilities, the Schrodinger's aspect?
So now when we activate Indi, which is the east fire, we activate like this way. Now my candle is already lit, and anytime your candle is lit, your mace is active. So let's say you don't have time to chant Pachamama, Mama Kia, all of it. Go light your Eastern candle. The mace is lit and ready to go. Let's say something came up all of a sudden, like what happened to me, because I wanted to do something, light his candle, his mace is ready to go.
Now, do you change out different things at different times?
Yes.
Based on something that you're attracted to?
Yes, your mesa is a living, animated creation that works with you. It's, think of if a surgeon has tools, a shaman has these tools. Okay. Because as we talk about each one, I'm going to show you how you use this, what this is used for, when to use this. With the right, we are going to learn how to use what's called the diagnostic pendulum. And this pendulum is different than what you've learned before. This pendulum will tell you, is it emotional? Is it mental? Is it psychological? Is it spiritual? Why is a person suffering? Whatever's going on with them. Depending how it spins, how it moves.
Oh.
And so you have a different pendulum. That's
And you're gonna have to have a different
It's
pendulum,
specifically for this.
specifically for this, separate for this and this only.
Okay, so don't use it like your regular
No.
pendulum.
And this is known as the scepter of power. Because just as easily as you could diagnose, think of how easily you could make someone ill. Okay, so again,
So you have to be very careful with it.
Wow.
so again, scepter of power is the east, the mind. That's where the pendulum goes. Now you see why I have a big candle there, because all my ego causing things that I want.
Now, you don't have one on yours.
No, I also left some things at home,
Oh, okay.
but I have not found a pendulum that calls me yet.
So we're gonna move to the within now. Normally I have these in the this here. If you do have a shell, make sure the shell is pointing up to help bring in the energy this way. If it's pointing upside down, it's gonna be pulling from the earth up. So you might feel a little bit more sluggish, super grounded.
Or if you're like me, who needs to ground more often.
Then you may wanna flip it down to
Oh,
ground.
okay. I
If you
get
feel
that.
you're emotionally not grounded,
Okay.
then flip it to ground. So, again, pretty simple, but we're getting complex now, okay? The within. The within is, again, where the three levels, left, right, below, above, before and behind, they all connect here. And Vincent's piece is the tiger with the mirror of the phoenix, because that's what balances, completes you. I'll pass mine around. Normally, if you know people that you can't trust, I would say don't ever let them touch, because this is your most sacred piece. This is you. If you
What
look,
is it?
if you look at this, this is actually a flora. You'll have to hold it up. I'm a portal worker, and you'll see several triangles and portals in here. But because I'm an interdimensional portal worker, that's what that represents.
Wow.
That stone.
That's really cool.
And I was told 3 years ago to get a stone that glowed pink in the center. Glows pink in the center. So again, you may get something ahead of time that you have no idea why you're getting
Right.
or why you've had it. But when it came to my centerpiece, that's called the Visa Guru. That's again your sacred piece. That's your innermost piece. And again, I trust you, so I don't mind you holding it. But I wouldn't let just anyone hold it, because again, and you'll learn this with witches and other people. You can sell someone's medicine very easily by holding the crystals. If you're malintentioned, it's very easy to do so. So
So what happens if that does happen? Can you like just get rid of it? Like,
that does happen. First of all, you're probably gonna have to decide, do you want to cleanse your piece or do you want to let it go? You have to make that choice. If you're going to cleanse it, the best way to cleanse it that I have found is marking well in the earth where you're gonna bury it with tobacco, sage, offerings, and leave it there for 3 full moons.
oh wow.
Oh, 3 full moons.
And then bring it back up and feel if the energy is still there.
And sometimes it's also, if something happens with it, sometimes it's not even necessarily that anyone had ill intent. Sometimes that's a lesson of the ego.
So then it's a lesson of the ego
Mhm.
to let the piece go, you mean?
Sometimes.
Yeah, one of my teachers
Okay.
had, when she taught her class, she had everyone bring in their most precious piece and put it in the center. And then they said, okay, now everyone pick the one you like, and they're going home with that as your new centerpiece.
To let
to,
it
to
go.
learn to detach.
To let it
Because honestly,
go. Right,
even though we have these pieces to help us,
Right.
we are the piece,
I get that.
you know?
You can make it anything your piece.
Right.
Yeah, and we really don't need the piece. The piece has always been there. It will always be there. But sometimes it's nice to actually hold it and feel it in order to trust into it within ourselves. So that's why if you want to take your mesa with you, take a picture of it. It's on your phone. Take a picture of it with the candle lit. Your mesa's ready to go from anywhere. Because you really carry this. Again, this is a representation
Of what we're already carrying.
of what we're already carrying, exactly. So that again being the within, and this is Guichi. So the way we activate is we would chant Guichi 3 times like this. All right, hand down towards the center, left hand up. Guichi. And then you'll definitely feel it. If you have not felt it, you will feel it by the time you activate with it. You will feel the whole thing connected. And the last thing you're going to chant is the I am. That connects with the forward and the heart. And so the way you'll actually do this, palms both to the heavens, and you'll chant I am. I am sounds kind of funny. It's chanted in 2 breaths like this. And then once you feel everything, you bring your hands over your mesa and you clap. Now you've sealed all the medicine. And then if you want to seal it in your body, breathe it in. And now you've just inhaled it. So that is the activated mesa and its basics. Any questions?
I want to know what those little guys represent over
Yeah.
there.
Oh, that's a little nice.
Stone doll, woolly doll, and squeaky dolls, right?
Same as that stone down there.
The griffin one, the dragon one,
The I am.
oh, the I am.
Again, it represents the I am. What is a poppet? It represents someone. It's meant as a correlation to another individual. Now, as to what each individual piece means, the mouse represents Zen and quietness, and stillness. The other one represents active pursuit of discipline. Hence the martial arts get up on it.
Yeah. So I'll pass my I am around because you'll actually see flames in it.
Speaking of which, can you put my hummingbird crystal up on top right,
Oh,
left?
yeah.
I was wondering why that was over there.
Yes, and that's his hummingbird.
And basically the candle's usually about over another 6 inches to the right, and the hat sits there. Yeah, pretty much.
Mhm.
But you saw how big the
And the
hat
hat
was.
goes there.
And then one thing you can do is if you know you're gonna build an apachetta in your home, and you know what stone is going on top, you can take the top stone and put it in the southeast. Or if you're gonna build an apachetta and start charging that pyramid you'll be building.
Oh,
Because you're gonna be bringing the cosmos energy from again the northwest through the Earth's axis all the way here.
so we should all get stones to put to build the,
If you want to, yeah.
If you guys want to do a communal apachetta, yeah, each of
Yeah.
you take one of the top stones.
okay.
Yeah.
So is
Put it in
it
the
just like the stones that we have out
Um,
front?
What it would be different stones because you'll need 7 big base stones representing the 7 major mountains of Peru. And then you'll build stones up into the desired height.
And where does that get placed?
It gets placed in the southeast, that
Just to
stones are
charge
gonna, to start charging.
When you say big, you mean stones like this?
You can make them as big or as little as you want. I've
We have to
seen,
think about where you want to put it before we
Yeah.
say how big we want it.
I've seen apachettas that are 10 feet tall, and I've seen them that are 6 inches tall. Because they wanted to make one for the fairies in the garden. So,
Hold on. I need it. What was I telling them? Goes out there with the lawnmower, like you gotta tell them you're coming.
So
Tell the
again-
fairies you're coming.
the
Ring
Mason
a bell, that
tradition
gets them to go.
is flexible, but it's meant to be cohesive of the entire universe. And through the next weeks, we'll be learning how to use the different directions. But the three levels I want to talk about, we'll do a little break right now. After the break, the above, the middle, and the below. So that way you get used to those, because the animals are gonna start coming to you. And the animals will come from the above, the middle, and
And
the
what do
below.
you mean that the animals will come, like in your visions or in your
Dreams,
dreams?
intuitions, and
I've always had the animals.
and if you've always had the animals, they're gonna come to you even faster.
So pay attention.
So pay attention because in this tradition, again, remember it's self, nature, culture, and the cosmos. And they were very humble people that worked with everything. They didn't waste anything, waste not, want not. They didn't lie, they weren't lazy, they worked hard. They didn't steal. So all those principles, they also learned from the animals. They learned from the animals how they took care of each other, how they defended each other, how they antagonized each other.
It's always a lesson.
So that's why it's good to know all these 3 levels, because they'll come to you from different places.
And sometimes are they real animals that come to?
Mm-hmm.
The cat that loves that fur showed up right around the time I started building that.
Oh,
She claims it's my cat. I say it's.
She claws me when I'm beside her. It's this cat. And I know my cat, she sits, I didn't mention this, in the east is ruled by the cats, the great cats, jaguar, puma. So the big cats rule the east.
one time we were away in Sedona and the giant, one of those big black birds that are up there. They're like
Ravens.
The ravens are 3 times the size up there than they are there. It walked a coyote out away from us. Like the raven was above the coyote, walking him off the property. And that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen, and there must have been a message in that. We just didn't understand it at the time.
Oh, ravens are messengers. That's why it's a raven feather and a quill.
Yeah,
As again, the reason I got it as a quill and not just a feather is
yeah.
getting the messages is all fine and good, but I want to be able to interpret it and convey the message, which is why I have this quill. So I might have
So
the
you can write
inspiration,
it.
but I can write it out and actually understand the message. Because getting a message is all fine and good, but if you don't understand it, what's the point?
Yeah, we never got it.
So-
Although we've had other encounters with
And,
coyotes.
and yeah, and you'll find that there'll be some animals that you'll have more affinity to. As you go on this tradition and as you do more meditation, suddenly, you don't know why all of a sudden you're attracted to dolphins and the ocean and the fish and the turtles. Why is that? You're being called to work more with the grandmother and the water energies. So that's why I want to go through the 3 levels after the break. But with my I am stone, when we get to the before, the reason there are 3 suns there is because you'll learn by the end of this 6 weeks how to bring the energy of the 3 suns. The first sun being source, second sun is going to be then the Milky Way, and the third sun is going to be actually our solar system sun. But you're going to connect with your solar plexus and your navel directly, all the way to source.
That's funny, because when you were building it, my solar plexus keeps lighting up as you chant. I'm feeling it here.
Yeah, and that's because you'll see later as we're doing some of these things, we're going to extend our belly button into the earth, or we'll extend it to the heavens to get the energy. So, and then I'm going to send you a video of how to do different mudras to activate your chakras using chants, using all these directions.
Oh, that would be really
Yeah.
cool.
So a lot of things I'm going to show you by video just because I lack of time.
You should come and speak at church and do that. No, really, the chants on how to activate the chakras, that would be really cool.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
I don't know how to temporarily pause that. Can we pause it or do you need to keep it going?
Keep thinking about what you said.
I figure.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
A lot of information, a lot of energy.
No, you have to stop it.
I have to stop it.
But we can do a part 2 later.
Okay, we'll do a part 2 later.
But there might be an intermission thing, though.
Any questions? Clear as mud?
No. Right? Yeah, but then this is where you do the real work. This is where we do the real work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you see why I had to split it into 2. Like,
Oh, yeah.
first half, you're gonna clear yourself. Second
Yeah.
half,